It was a dark and stormy night. Thunder crashed. Lightning struck. Rain poured down. Interest rates rose higher and higher with no end in sight. There was only one thing you could do. Lock in your rate before it's too late. What's up, guys? It's Tristan with the Pearrow Group, and you may have guessed from that intro, I am going to talk to you today about how to lock in your interest rate. I get this question quite a bit, and so I'm going to break down to you what things need to happen before you can lock in your interest rate and how you can know for sure your interest rate's been locked in. The first thing that obviously has to happen is you've got to have a mortgage application into your lender, and you've got to have gotten the lender the documents that they need to build out your file. Without these, even if a lender did lock in your interest rate, it may not be locked in accurately because there's going to be outstanding information that they don't yet have, which could potentially change what the interest rate's going to be. This is why a lender will usually ask for documents up front and want to run credit. The second thing you're going to need to have done in order to lock in your interest rate is you're going to need to have chosen a loan program and loan terms. This means you're going to have to decide if it's going to be a 30-year loan, a 15-year loan, a fixed rate loan, an adjustable rate loan, so on and so forth. And these are things that you'll discuss and decide with your lender. The next thing that'll need to be done in order to lock your rate is actually decide upon an interest rate. Your lender may tell you the interest rate you need to go with, or you may be able to have some flexibility. For example, my clients are often able to choose between a rate buy down, which would lower their interest rate, or between taking a lender credit, which would reduce some of their closing costs. And I offer some of that pricing flexibility because I have a lot of control over pricing since I run my own mortgage team. Whereas other banks may be locked into a certain rate that they can offer, and you won't have as much flexibility or say in the interest rate that you get. Next, you and your lender are going to need to decide how long you need your interest rate locked in for. Now, this will probably be something the lender will be able to advise you on. However, if you know for sure that you need 45 days to close, then you're going to need to bring up that, hey, I won't be able to sign for 45 days. I'm going to be out of the country. Make sure that your lender didn't lock your rate in for 30 days to where you're going to be paying 15 days of extensions, or your rate's going to expire before you're able to sign on that closing and you lose your interest rate altogether. The next thing you need to do is ask your lender to lock in your interest rate. Now, to make sure that your interest rate was really locked in, you should look out for a lock-in agreement that is sent to you either by mail or electronically by email. And this should be sent out no later than 3 days after your interest rate was locked. If you do not receive a lock-in agreement, ask your lender why you didn't receive one and make sure that your interest rate is really locked in. Now, unfortunately, I've had many clients come to me who in the past, before working with me, had situations where they were quoted one interest rate and then at the end of the process, they actually got another interest rate. And this really upsets people because nobody likes to feel tricked, nobody likes to feel conned, and nobody likes to get something worse than what they were offered. That's just a bad feeling. And so in general, that's something that will really turn people off to the mortgage process. So I'm going to give you guys some insight into why your interest rate may have changed and some things that you can look out for next time so that that doesn't happen to you. Now, before I talk about the reasons that are completely in your lender's control for why interest rate may have changed, things that shouldn't be happening, I'll tell you some things that could actually potentially happen during the loan process that could legitimately affect your interest rate before you close. Now, the first thing would be the appraisal. Let's say you're doing a refinance, you have an appraisal done, and the appraisal comes in higher or lower than you expected. If it comes in higher, that could have a favorable effect on the interest rate. If it comes in lower, that could actually have a detrimental effect on the interest rate, causing it to go up. Something else that most people don't know about the mortgage market is that interest rates do fluctuate throughout the day, sometimes several times a day. So if you decided to lock in your interest rate with your lender and then a couple minutes later there's a market fluctuation, there may be a chance that the rate changes. However, this is somewhat unlikely to happen in any significant way. And now for reasons that your interest rate might have gotten changed that should never really happen. The first one is that a lender did not price out your loan correctly. When a lender looks up interest rates, they have to type in quite a few parameters about that loan in order to pull up accurate rates. Let's say you were going to buy an investment property, and the lender entered that it was going to be a primary residence, they would probably be quoting you significantly better rates than what you would actually be getting on an investment property. Let's say that you were going to purchase a home and put 3% down, but the lender priced out that transaction with 20% down. The rate that they quoted you is going to be better. And then when you go and actually put 3% down on that home, you're going to get a worse interest rate. Now, a lender may do this by accident, or they may do this on purpose because they're hoping that that better interest rate will entice you, and then you might not notice the change, or you might be too far along in the process to care. And that's really what they call the old bait and switch. They're so desperate to get you in the door that they think that by offering you some really, really low interest rate that's not actually available, they'll be able to get you and then retain your business when you're too exhausted and frustrated to go anywhere else. This is a terrible business practice, and people that operate this way do not stay in business for long. To make sure that this isn't happening to you, get a loan estimate and bring it to another lender and have them look it over for you if you're not sure. They will absolutely be able to point out any errors in the loan estimate and help you to understand and decipher what's going on. So guys, that's about all I've got for this topic. If you've got any other questions, or if you're eager to lock in an interest rate and you're not sure where to go or how to start, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is in the description below. Please go ahead and like and subscribe. That will ensure that you never miss any valuable content. I'm creating new videos every single week. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.